Hello everyone and welcome back to the UK Koi channel. And today, the day I've finally been waiting for has come. And that is because today I'm finally going to be harvesting my Sankei koi fry. Now, at the moment they're currently in its pond over there. And the plan today is to catch them up and move them into their new home. Also to select a couple as well, pick out the nicer ones, and just see how their health is doing generally. Now, of course, there's also an opportunity to count up how many fry I have. Now, my rough estimate is around 5,000 to 10,000. But of course, at this point, a lot of those have died. You know, that tends to happen with fry. So at this point, it'll be my first chance to really count up how many I have left. I'm going to go through, select them, harvest around about 90% of them. I'll leave 10% in that pond just sort of as a fail-safe in case the new pond goes badly. I'll still have 10%, you know, saved up from before. But yeah, that's the plan today. So hope you enjoy. Let's not waste any time. Let's walk over to the pond and harvest some fry. As per usual, the guys inside are doing really well. Fred is, well, as hungry as ever. He's Fred. But I'm not going to get distracted by him today. We're going to go right over there now and take a look at the fry. Obviously, the one thing I cannot forget is the bowl and the net. Obviously, going to need these to catch up the fry. So let's get a hold of these, take them round and walk them over. Now we have all the kit we need. Let's walk over and catch them fry. And here we are at the pond. Now the first task is to remove the cover. That's simply there to stop birds from being able to eat the fry. Now the next task is to fill up the bowl, so I have a place to put the fry into, and now we can get to catching. Now fortunately this is quite easy because there's quite literally fry everywhere. You're able to catch about 30 or 40 with each scoop, so it's quite simple to do this task. Obviously I don't want to overstock the bowl, so I placed about 100 to 120 in this bowl, and then walked them back over to their new tank, which is this 1,000-gallon pool which I have here in front of me. I also set up a separate vat so I could place all the fry into one place so I could select them and also grade them. Now, this tank is fine to keep them in for about 30 minutes to 40 minutes, which is really all the time I was going to need anyway. So I poured the fry in, and really now it's a case of just repeating this process over and over again. Walking back to the pond, catching up some fry, and then bringing them back to the vat. I'll do this process about 3, maybe 4 times. As you can see here, I've just come back to the pond. I'm going to fill up the bowl and get back to catching some fry. Here's a demonstration of how it looked for me. It's quite simple. The main tactic was to scoop along the edges where the algae was. A lot of the fry were hanging in that sort of area. Though this was quite a poor scoop. I only had 3 small fry here. But as you can see, there's a lot of wildlife in the water, plenty of diving beetles and such. Now here was a slightly better scoop, and this one I got quite a larger fry, and quite a few other ones as well. It's really potluck how many you get with each scoop, and at this point I was catching quite a few less. After all was said and done, I had my second batch. I caught quite a nice Sankei from this batch, which you can see here. I'm going to try to focus on it now. It has a slight black speck on its lips. It's a really nice fish, to be completely honest with you. Be interested to see how it develops over the next couple of weeks and months and such. So I'll have a little bit of a notation of that one. I'll take a photo and see if I can sort of identify it in the future for you. But yeah, we'll carry these guys back over, put them in, and just keep repeating this process. Now, I'm quite excited at this point. You know, I really do want to get these fry in, but you can't rush this. You know, if I start jumping them in and such, there'll be real big issues health-wise, so I'm just taking it nice and slow, adding them in gently, acclimatizing them as well. Now, fortunately, the water temperatures are the same, but obviously in terms of water parameters, they are slightly different. So I am dripping in some of the pond water here and there, just to help acclimatize the fry to the new environment. So far I've caught up about 2 batches of fry, which is equal to about 500 fry. I'm going to catch about 3 or 4 more. I won't record that though, because that's basically just a repeat of what I'm doing. So there's no point showing that to you, it's quite repetitive. But once I've done that, I'll come back to you and show you all the fry in the box. Then I'm going to take out some of the larger ones just to look at separately, and then I'm going to place them into the tank. They've already been acclimated because both of these ponds are the same temperature. I put a thermometer in both of them and they're both roughly around 18 to 20 degrees. It's quite hot here at the moment, so yeah, they're both the same, so acclimation's not needed. But I will put in some of that water into the tank slowly and surely, just so that they can get used to the different parameters in that water. But yeah, stay tuned for that. This is probably my final scoop of fry here, but as you can see, this batch has a lot of the slightly larger fry. Now, some of them still haven't got any black on them, like this one here in my hand right there. But the large majority do. So this is the last batch I'll be catching up. I'm going to put them into a tub now, select through them, take the bigger ones out, just so I can count them up, and then put them into their new home. So it took me a bit longer than I was expecting, but I finally caught up about 1,000 fry. Now in this tank here, I've got roughly about 500 to 600, but I already placed about 400 or 500 in the tank, just because I forgot to put them in here. But as you can see, these guys are looking really well, and there's a real vary sort of in the size. If I zoom in here, you can take a look at some of these guys, and you can see the real difference in the size. Like you have this one here compared to this little guy right here, really small fry. But they're all looking really well. I've had no real health issues. I have had a close look at some that are interesting me. There's this one down here, this Sankey. See if I can get a focus on it. Where has it gone? Is that it there? Yeah, that's it there, this one here. This guy here, quite like the look of this one, but you know, at this stage you really cannot tell. The only thing I'm looking for is any deformities that I can see, but I'm going to catch up a couple of the larger ones separately in the bowl that I've got just here and show them to you so you can get a closer look. So in this bowl here I've managed to catch up the majority of the larger fry. Now there's quite a variety here in terms of the types. Now obviously these are all Sankey, but they're not obviously going to show all Sankey colouring from the beginning. As you can see, these ones here, they look like Kahaku, but chances are they won't develop into Kahaku. It's always risky keeping Kahaku from a Sankey spawning because the black can appear later, and it's just a bit risky in that point of view. But this is only for a home spawning, so I'm not too worried about that. But as you can see, some of them have got some really nice black coming through. Personal favourites in terms of pattern, I think would have to be, I reckon either this little one down here. If I get a close up on it, you can see it's got quite a nice pattern to it. Or, there was one other one. Oh, here, this one here. Very interesting pattern on this guy. If I can get a focus on it. There it goes, this guy here. Quite interesting fish, to be completely honest with you. This one here is also quite nice. But for my first home Sankey spawning, I'm quite happy with these guys. Just how they developed and how they've grown over the past, few weeks. These are about 4 weeks old now, maybe 3 weeks. So they are a little stunted, minorly, just because of the pond they're in. But now they're getting transferred into this new pond. I should really have no issues with that. So yeah, just fingers crossed it all goes well with these guys. But yeah, I'm really happy with these guys. I have got the smaller ones still in this bucket over here. I did also get quite an interesting underwater shot of the fry. From this, you can really see how fat their bellies are, which is not surprising given how big these fish are. They're probably eating quite well. But this is actually really nice to see them from this angle, because you can really see their eyes, their gills, and their faces. You know, they're starting to properly form into some nice koi. So fingers crossed these guys all go well. You can see on that one there, you've got really fat belly. You can see right through it. You can sort of see its spinal cord and such. And then this one here was the one I was talking about earlier. Really nice fish, but yeah, fingers crossed all goes well. All of the small guys are still in this bucket. But yeah, they're all acclimated now. I've put plenty of the pond water in here, so they're very much ready to go in. So we're going to scoop them all up now and put them into the pond. I finally caught up all the fry, and here they are now. So it's finally time for the moment you've all been waiting for. We're going to release these guys back into their new home. We'll just place them in here and let them go in. I'm not worried about contaminating the water, since I know about my water's all safe, so there we go. We'll let them swim in. Try and keep that shade on there so you can see them, but there they all go, dispersing off around the pond. Can't tell how happy I am right now to finally have these fry in here. Hopefully get some good growth out of them whilst they're in here. And yeah, so the fry are finally in, and I can't tell you how... Planes again, 1 second. Sorry about that, the plane's now gone. Yeah, so they're finally in now. I can't tell you how ecstatic I am. The fry are finally in the tank. You know, this has been quite a few weeks of work, setting up the tank, growing out the fry, and now finally to be the next step for them. Now, this is really a learning curve for me. Obviously, this is my first time raising fry, and I'll be seeing how this tank actually works, how effective it is. There's plenty of food in there for them. Obviously, I'll be getting some new food in for them soon, some new Daphnia and such, and some brine shrimp. But at the moment, they should be fine. So I'll have some good updates on these guys. Also, the plan was also to put the Kajaku in here, but like I said, Kajaku are just a lot older, so they would obviously eat a fair few of those fries, so it's just not safe to put them in there. But yeah, I can't tell you how happy I am. Yeah, it's really happy to finally have them in there. So, you know, it's a good few steps to be taking here, and you know, it's a good learning experience for me, obviously raising these fry. I'm hoping I get to a point where I can start selecting them for their patterns and such. And oh, more noise as well, interrupting me. But yeah, hopefully I can get to a point where I can select these guys, and you know, I'll be documenting that for you guys. So put some comments down below, any ideas you want to have with the fry, or your opinions on them, to be completely honest, or any tips and tricks, because I'm sure some of you watching these videos have raised fry before. So if you have any tips on raising them, then do let me know. So it has been roughly an hour since I added the fry in. So let's go take a look now and see how they're doing. Here we are back at the pond. Let's see how the fry are doing, you know. I reckon I might have a hard time spotting them. Actually, no, there you go. If I zoom in there, you might be able to see them. There's a couple on the edge of the pots here. I'm not surprised, they're most likely going to be hugging onto structure and such, so it's not incredibly shocking that they are doing that. Take a walk around the edges, see if I can spot any more. But so far, so good. Obviously, this is only the first day, so won't be much change to them over these first few days, but they look settled. Obviously, they're hugging to cover at the moment, so most of them are underneath these lily pads. If I can show you under here. Yeah, and you move them out, you can sort of see them under there. So fingers crossed it all goes well with these guys in here. They should grow a lot faster. There's plenty of food in here for them, plenty of Daphnia, plenty of fly larvae. There's plenty of just different things for them to eat, and hopefully it all goes well in here. Obviously, I still got the fail-safe of the other pond. That pond is still stocked with fry, so I've still got that as a backup in case this does go wrong. And then obviously I've got the Kajaku fry to worry about now as well. Those guys I might actually bring home and put in an aquarium tank. There's a couple of them that are large enough now, and there'll be some good growth for them in there, and I know that actually works, so I might put some of them in there just as an experiment, just to see how they do. But yeah, I'm really happy with how these guys are doing, and yeah, just keep a close eye on these guys over the next couple of weeks. Obviously, before we end the video, got to feed Fred and the guys inside. Obviously ignored him at the start of the video, so I can't ignore him anymore. He is very hungry. Mind your head, mate. Sometimes he bashes his head on the side, but he's been getting very hungry recently. He's been getting to a point where I can literally lift him out of the water now. He's very friendly, and it's very important to have a fish like this. The benefit of having Fred in here is you'll notice, because Fred is so friendly, all the other fish like this one here and the Chagoi, they sort of mimic his behaviour, because they get confidence off of seeing Fred, you know, coming up and eating from my fingers, and therefore they sort of copy that behaviour and do the same. But we'll just feed them now so they can get a little bit of food in the vase. There we go. They're ravenous as ever. There's a lot of goldfish in here at the moment. They're already in here because I'm trying to get rid of them. These were from like when I first started my pond, and they bred like crazy. And obviously I had the puncture, and obviously I got all the fish inside, and I haven't put these guys back in just because I wanted to get rid of goldfish anyway, and by having them in this tank now, I can get rid of them. Obviously by get rid of them I don't mean, you know, just get rid of them. I mean I'm going to give them to some friends and such. Let's have some ponds, so yeah, these will not be going to waste. But yeah, finally got the goldfish out of the pond, which means, you know, I can focus mainly on koi. Fred's happy now, he's got his food. I can stroke him whilst he's eating. He's oh, it did scare him there though. Sometimes it does get a bit jumpy, but probably the most friendly fish I have. Let's go look at outside as well to make sure the fish outside are doing well. We'll grab a little bit of food for those guys outside. That should be enough. Here we are. I'm having a bit of an issue out here, which is probably quite obvious to those of you who are looking. That being with the water clarity. But I'll be making a video on that soon. I know why it's happened. It's nothing to do with the water quality. That's to do with the rain recently, but I'll cover that in a video in a couple of days. It's actually about to start rain now. If you look at the clouds, I mean, it's not looking too great. It's a big rain cloud incoming, but these guys aren't too bothered by the water clarity. They're all doing quite well. Here's actually the dad of the fry you've seen today, the Sankei male there, and that's the mum there. And then there's the other dad here, the Sankei. Oh, he's gone back under now, I can't see him, but yeah, that's the mum of the fish there, just so you can get an idea. But yeah, these guys out here are doing well, but I've got to fix this water clarity issue. But I won't bore you with it now. I'll cover that in another video. But yeah, these guys outside are doing quite well. Anyway, that's it for today's video, guys. I hope you did enjoy. Leave a like and comment down below. I'll respond to your comments, so if you have anything you want to say, then let me know. But yeah, that's it. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.